The following contains large amounts of pointless rambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Do it. Well, happy Palm Sunday. Just got this from church. The kids were handing these out to the congregation. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Basically just here to, I'm just gonna do another
Baja fish taco with another
it's just gonna be another one of those rambling videos while I'm driving. Just because I haven't done a video in a long time. But let's see. So what I wanted to talk about was the something that's been talked about on the NFGeeks forum this past week, which is the INFJ Doorslam. If you don't know what the INFJ Doorslam is, you can just Google it. Just Google INFJ Doorslam. There's plenty of discussions about it, plenty of rants about it, and INFJ is defending it and whatnot, which is actually kind of what I wanted to address. Which is basically this coming from my own outsider's ISTP point of view. And one thing I noticed is like when you have, so you got the INFJs talking about their own Doorslam experiences and other types talking about being doorslammed by INFJs. The thing that I think most people don't even realize is that they're not talking about the same thing. Because like, I actually pointed this out on the discussion on the thread, and I want to just thank Anne for validating this twice. So I think in most cases where other types are talking about being doorslammed by INFJs, they're really talking about immature INFJs, like the INFJs that have not yet figured out a better way to handle their situations. And so when you have the INFJs basically defending their own door slams, they're talking about legitimate situations in which, they're talking about like a person that was like either being abusive or controlling, somebody that actually deserved to be door slammed, and somebody who, should be door slammed no matter what type you are. So that leaves the non-INFJs, the ones who have been door slammed, thinking like, well, does that mean, fire truck. Yeah, at least not the other types thinking, well, so if I was door slammed, does that mean I deserve to be door slammed? Well, no, it doesn't. It means you were probably door slammed by a less mature INFJ. If that even was an INFJ, it could have been just some other type that was mentally unstable, like in my cases. So yeah, and I think that the INFJs, I didn't really plan all of what I was going to say. So yeah, it's hard to have a discussion between the INFJs, on the forum, mostly of whom are aware of their own tendencies, and when they start talking about the times that they door slam people, it is nothing like the situations that the non-INFJs are talking about where they've been door slammed. It's two totally different things. Now, speaking speaking as someone who has been door slammed by people that I don't even know whose type they were, what type they were. I don't even know if I should even get into my own situations as a door slam me, because I think they were special kinds of situations. You know, they did involve people who had mental problems. You know, it really had nothing to do with being INFJs or whatever type they were. And you know, maybe I was being an idiot. I don't really know, because there were no witnesses to those interactions. But another thought I had was about SPs being the recipients of INFJ door slams. Now, the thing about INFJ door slams is that they don't just happen on a whim. You know, it's a buildup. The INFJ has come to a conclusion after so much time of trying to work things out. They've concluded that this is just not going to work out, and this is a toxic person in my life, and cutting them off is the best thing to do. You know, they've mulled this over. They've gone over a long period of time of giving the person multiple chances, and probably giving the person warnings. But the thing is, people who are talking about being door slammed mostly are unaware that, you know, they basically didn't see it coming, so they're unaware that they've been given all those chances, and so it just comes as a shock when it does happen. And I can't really speak for other types or other temperaments, but you know, looking at it as an SP, I can kind of see why an SP just might not see it coming, even if the INFJ has given a fair amount of warnings. And really, it just comes down to, you know, a communication breakdown and a difference in the way the temperaments handle conflicts between each other, between the different between other people of other temperaments. So, like for example, the INFJ might start out by bringing up a problem, or bringing up an overall big picture problem. And you know, the thing with SPs is, like, you know, we hate it. We hate being told you always do this or you never do this. You know, we want examples of things we've done. You know, like tangible things, specific things that we can address. And you know, a lot of times the INFJs can't think of any specific example on the spot. You know, which becomes a problem, because you know that doesn't help us. Being told, you know, you always do this. Well, give me an example. I can't think of an example. Well, then I can't really do much about it. So tell me about it the next time it happens. But let's say, you know, let's say the INFJ can think of an example. Say it's the last time it happened. So they talk about that. You know, let's say the INFJ's major complaint is the SP. You know, say it's an ISTP. Always fails to acknowledge the INFJ's feelings, or say the ISTP always dismisses the INFJ's feelings whenever they're talking about anything. And I'm just checking to see if this person can get out. I can't really do much about it though. Anyway, so let's say that the ISTP has a pattern of failing to recognize the INFJ's feelings whenever they're talking about something, and the INFJ's feelings is the main thing that they need to discuss, and this is a repeat pattern. Well, so the INFJ says, well, you always dismiss my feelings whenever we're talking about it. The ISTP is like, oh, what are you talking about? Give me an example. So the INFJ brings up the last time the ISTP did this, and it happens to be, say, let's say the INFJ was talking about her sister, some conflict with her sister. I don't know. So let's just say the INFJ described an incident, and the ISTP just like immediately responded, well, you shouldn't have done this, or you should have done it this way instead. And really the INFJ wasn't looking for advice. She was just talking about her frustrations with her sister, her overall frustrations. So then INFJ now is explaining this to the ISTP, like, the last time this happened, this was what you said. You said, you dismissed my feelings, and instead you said, well, you should have handled it this way instead. So now the ISTP, best case scenario, the ISTP is acknowledging it now. I know a lot of SPs, or less mature ISTPs will defend, will try to defend their own reactions, and they won't even listen to what the INFJs do. But let's say the ISTP, that's a separate problem altogether. But let's say the ISTP legitimately wants to fix this problem. Well, so the INFJ just described a specific incident in which the ISTP responded in an inappropriate way. So now the ISTP is thinking, okay, so now I know. The next time you rant about your sister, I know not to offer advice, and I know you just want to have your own feelings acknowledged. Okay, so that fixes, if that exact scenario were to come up again, yeah, the ISTP might know how to handle it, but that still doesn't address the INFJ's overall problem.
Thanks for choosing the Roseville Drive-thru. This is Jordan. What can I get going for ya?
Yeah, can I get a grande mocha light frappuccino?
Yeah, of course. What else today?
That's it.
All right, grande mocha light frappuccino, be $4.87. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, that still doesn't address the INFJ's main problem with the ISTP, which is that he, in general, does not acknowledge the INFJ's feelings in multiple scenarios. So then, the next scenario that is going to be completely different. It might not even involve any people or any relatives at all. It might be the INFJ is just feeling, just sort of down, over the last couple of days, and doesn't really know why. And so the ISTP responds to that with well, maybe let's just go on a random drive. Maybe that'll make you feel better, and that does nothing for the INFJ. And so, this is more of a common problem that I can see happening between SPs and NFs, in a serious relationship. But the ISTP, the problem with the ISTP is he still is requiring specific examples, specific things to work on, and each time he's thinking, oh, okay, so I shouldn't do that. The next time this happens, I shouldn't do that. I should do this instead. But it just keeps happening over and over and over because the INFJ has repeatedly tried to point out why the overall the overall problem that the ISTP is just failing to acknowledge the INFJ's feelings in each of these different scenarios. And so after a while, the INFJ realizes, you know what? This is just the way the ISTP handles things, and that's not good enough for me. So it's best if I just move on. You know, this relationship is just not working out. I better just move on. And therefore, you know, Doorslam happens. And then the ISTP is just totally taken by surprise, because, you know, the ISTP thinks he's been working on all these different problems that the INFJ has brought up, when in reality, you know, it's just the overall problem has just been building up over time, over all these separate incidents. And you know, and then the INFJ just decides, you know, this just isn't working, which is true. And, you know, at the same time, it is legitimate that for the ISTP to think, yeah, he has been putting in the effort in working on these problems. It's just not the main problem. And as far as how they could have handled it better, I don't really know. I do know that there are plenty of INFJ ISTP relationships that have somehow made it work.
There. Your total's gonna be $487. There's that for ya. $15.13 will be your change.
Yeah.
There's that, and I'll grab you a straw.
Okay.
There you go. Have a good day, sir.
Thanks.
Do you have anything else to pass me? Okay. Thanks for choosing the right subject.
So, I mean, theoretically, it should be possible, you know, with the INFJ and ISTP sharing each other's lower functions, you know, third and fourth functions. Where am I going here? I think, you know, maybe it's just something that has to happen over time, as both the INFJ and ISTP mature and develop those third and fourth functions on their own, so that by the time they do find, you know, but, you know, maybe the ISTP later on will develop these skills over time, and then if he should happen to meet another INFJ, I totally lost my train of thought. That's what this traffic does to me. So, yeah, basically what I'm saying is I think it just takes a lot of growing and maturing before certain types are ready for serious relationships with each other. Which just kind of goes back to saying, well, yeah, theoretically any type can get together with any other type if they're both mature enough. You know, that brings up the question, well, how mature do they have to be? How old do they have to be? Because most of these type-related problems, you know, like the INFJ Doorslam, I think really apply to younger people. nice sunny day today, both today and yesterday. I'm pretty sure that's why everyone's out. Why there's a lot of traffic out right now. This always happens in the Seattle area. Whenever there's been several days in a row of gloomy, rainy, overcast, and all of a sudden it's a nice sunny day, like everyone has to take advantage of it. Kind of what I'm doing. It's actually why I'm taking the long way home from church instead of the freeway. Just enjoying the nice scenery. And I've really enjoyed my time I've been on the INFJ's Facebook group for over a year now, and have yet to get banned. That was actually one of the things I was worried about. When I was actually just talking about this in the Google Hangout yesterday. And I was worried. It was just a year ago that when I saw a bunch of people get banned, and Mike was talking about that you will get banned if you intentionally hurt someone's feelings, and me being neither N nor F, and someone with a history of accidentally hurting other people's feelings, how would I know that I am hurting someone's feelings? And he assured me that that he would give he gives people warnings, and that he can generally tell if a T is genuinely being a T and being clueless about someone's feelings, and so that's why he would give a fair warning. And thus far, it hasn't happened. And I think for me, it's happened. Unlike INTJs, I don't necessarily get stimulated by debates, and I don't. If I see someone that being logically wrong or factually wrong, it might irritate me inside, but I don't feel like it's necessary to point that out. If it's especially if it's obvious that it's going to start a debate. I'll just I think I have a much easier time just kind of keeping things to myself. If I know it's just not going to be worth just getting into an argument about it. So I think that's kind of what's kind of kept me from reaching dangerous near ban levels. So in the meantime, I've enjoyed being part of the NFTs group and learning about NF woohooey stuff. And half the times, I think I'd say more than half the threads are things that that don't interest me, and things I don't relate to. Especially being an ISTP. But then there's the other half, the stuff that I do enjoy. The topics that I do enjoy participating in. So it's easy enough for me to just ignore the stuff that I don't like, and then just focus on the stuff I do like. Talking about stuff that doesn't interest me, then I'll just quietly leave. No need to do the stuff that some people do, like this group sucks, I'm leaving. Like why even announce that? What is the point of doing that? night, make the group enjoyable. I've been Facebook friended quite a lot of people that I met through the NFTs forum. Decided to open it up to people I meet online. So when I first started on Facebook, it was like a, only friend people that you know in real life. And then after a while, I realized, most of the people that I've friended are, people that I have met in real life, but probably wouldn't otherwise become friends with, or wouldn't maintain a friendship with. All those people that that you went to high school with and haven't seen since then. That seems kind of pointless to me now. It's like, ooh, cool. So this is what you're doing now, and I have no interest in that. But yeah, friendly people that that I meet in groups that I willingly participate in, that makes a lot more sense, because these are people that I have that sort of common ground with. People who are interested in MBTI, or like other interests like like Lost, or ASMR, or road trips, or whatever. Christian singles. And if I enjoy reading their Facebook posts, then great. That's actually kind of one of my criteria if I for friending people. Especially if I don't really know much else about them, I'll look at their Facebook timeline and see if this is somebody I might be interested in who's in reading their posts. Which makes it really hard if somebody friend requests me and everything they post is friends only, or private, so I can't really tell anything about what they like to post about. But actually, if they tend to post a lot about stuff that doesn't interest me, at least now Facebook has the option to hide their posts. And if they happen to comment if they happen to enjoy my posts and they comment a lot, or they like my posts, then great. Then I'll still enjoy having them as a Facebook friend. I just won't let them know that I'm hiding their posts. Or so, I'm just kind of waiting for like a long red light. Finally get one, but I'm almost home, so I might as well just wait until I pull up to my garage. I haven't had one of these mocha frappuccinos in a long time. I was just being an SP just now. session from 4 separate locations. We did that this past weekend. On probably the longest NF Geeks Google Hangout they've ever done, which lasted probably, I don't know, maybe over 30 hours or so. And so I joined it Friday night, just as I was getting off work. So I joined from my office at work. Then once I lost the Wi-Fi signal there, I drove over to Denny's and actually joined the hangout while I was eating dinner. And they were all joking that they were on a date with me. Then I joined from home and kind of, I didn't fall asleep on the hangout this time, but I almost did. And then I joined the hangout from Starbucks. I actually sat outside, took advantage of the nice weather, and just kind of hung out. And it was down to just like, I think it was just Matthew and Nina. Okay, I'm home now, so time to end this recording. Assuming you're all still listening.